This is the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial endowment expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping our show on May the 6th, 2016. Our time is 8:44 Mountain. We say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And I say Happy Mother's Day to my mom, and I'll be taking her to lunch. And I know that Harold is going to be taking out his wife and family on Mother's Day as well. Happy Mom's Day. Where would we be if we did not have Mom? Now, it's been quite an interesting week here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Our radio show runs on 630 CHED in Edmonton. We're heard all around the world. You can listen to us online on Harold's two websites, HESradio.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We have a podcast through iTunes, The World Financial Report on Radio. We also are on TuneIn, and we have a YouTube page. So we're pretty much everywhere that you are. And it's been a tough week because our friends in Fort McMurray have faced a real catastrophic fire. Fort McMurray, a major oil and economic hub for Alberta and Canada, has been hit with a major fire. 80,000 plus evacuated. The story now reaching all around the world. The situation is fluid. It's changing by the moment. Keep listening to 630 CHED for updates. The Bank of Montreal coming out and saying losses could reach $9.4 billion. Now, as Harold was saying to me during the week, and we spoke a few times about the situation, we have lots of listeners in Fort McMurray and lots of clients, and our thoughts and prayers are with them. And if you would like to help out, you can donate to the Canadian Red Cross, donate to food banks in the province of Alberta, and obviously it's good to hear that the money that's being donated will be matched by the Alberta and federal government in Ottawa and obviously Alberta here in Edmonton. Our thoughts and prayers are with all of those people that have been displaced from their homes, have lost their home. It's obviously a very emotional time, and we're there with you, we're there for you, and we'll help you get through this. And that's one of the great things about Canadians and Albertans. We come together in crisis. And Harold, been a very, very difficult week. We don't know when the fires will be out, but people can help out by donating to the Red Cross, non-perishable food items to the food bank. And you and I doing the show over the last about 15 years, we've gone through a lot of natural disasters all around the world. And I even remember when there was a time you had to leave your home. You're a Canadian who lives in Florida. I'm a Canadian living in Edmonton. You had to leave your home in Florida because of a hurricane.
You bet. So I certainly know how everybody up in Fort McMurray feels, but it was a very emotional week for all of us. You know, this isn't just an Alberta situation, it's a Canadian situation, and as Canadians, we feel for all of our friends and loved ones in Fort McMurray and in Alberta. And again, I know that I'm reading about this and trying to stay on top of it every day. I've got so many friends and so many clients up in that area that I haven't heard from yet, and I'm concerned, obviously. But again, we wish Godspeed. We wish everything with the fire works out fine and it's out as quickly as possible and people can get back with their lives. I know what it's like, you know, to have to leave your home and to be uprooted and to, you know, try to deal with that. I was speaking to Randy about it this morning. He said that, fortunately, most people that work up in Fort McMurray have second homes in Edmonton or that type of thing because, again, when you have to be evacuated, where do you go? I mean, there's only so many family members that are, you know, have family in Alberta. They may have to go to Ontario or Saskatchewan or whatever. But, again, we just hope that everybody comes out of this okay and again, just know that our hearts are with you and we'll get through this, definitely. Again, I just know how they feel because I've been displaced from my home during a hurricane back about 8 years ago, so I know exactly how they feel. And again, my heart goes out to everybody, all of our friends and loved ones up there. All in all, it's just been a crazy week. You know, the markets are looking for a direction. Gold backed off a bit. The Canadian dollar backed off. Oil came down a little bit. It's still trading in around the $43, $44 range. All these markets are looking for direction at this particular point. Going into May, stock markets do not normally do well during May. In fact, they don't do that well during the summertime. There's an old expression that says go away in May and come back in September type of thing. So, again, the stock markets have been very volatile. All the markets have been volatile. The currency markets have been extremely volatile, and those are the markets that we're watching very closely. By the way, the U.S. dollar in the month of May normally strengthens tremendously, and even though we haven't seen the Federal Reserve raise interest rates, and they may do it in June, but that's why the U.S. dollar sold off, basically, was because the Federal Reserve did not raise interest rates. Raising interest rates is going to strengthen the U.S. dollar, and again, that's what we're anticipating. We know that the Fed is going to eventually raise interest rates probably 2, 3, or 4 times this year. So again, going into the last half of this year, we do anticipate that there will be maybe 2, 3, or 4 interest rate hikes in the United States, and that should bring the U.S. dollar up to the 108 to 110 level that I've been speaking about for quite a while. Meanwhile, the Canadian dollar dropped off a bit this week. It's trading right now 129, down about 78 points today. It was down heavy on Thursday also. The oil market's looking for direction. The oil market was falling back off, and then obviously with what's happening up in the oil sands area, it strengthened the crude oil market a bit, but there's just a lot of uncertainty in the markets at this particular point. You've got these crazy elections going on in the United States. I've never seen anything like this, Randy. Some people just absolutely despise and hate Donald Trump, and then you've got the people that absolutely worship this guy. So this is going to be a totally different type of election than we've ever seen before, and both candidates are not fabulous candidates for the country. Again, I just don't know what Donald Trump thinks that he's going to be able to do at this point here. Again, he may be a billionaire, but the fact is that he doesn't understand politics in the way that politicians do. Not that I'm a big fan of politicians all the time, but the fact is that they do know what they're doing in certain cases, and they talk the language. And basically here in the United States, most people are not very happy to have to vote for Hillary Clinton. So we're going to see what happens here in the United States. The markets are obviously very nervous dealing with everything that's going on at this point. So at this time, as we're taping the show, the gold market is trading right now at about 1275, 1280 in that area. We did see it hit 1300. Again, that's going to be a resistance level at this time. 1380 is a major number for me. We'd have to see gold break 1380, close twice above that, in order for me to think that market's going to go higher. So again, if we do see an interest rate hike by the Federal Reserve in June, then again, you're going to see the dollar strengthen, gold back off, and again, the markets should resume what we anticipate that they're going to do. So again, there's just a lot of volatility at this point, and in all reality, the markets don't have a great direction at this time. So again, I'm still very comfortable with my predictions that the Canadian dollar is going to weaken. I think that we've seen the high in the Canadian dollar. I see it backing off, and that's good for my clients, believe it or not, because most of my clients at this particular point have gone into private investments with my company and with myself, and they're getting paid in American money. So if that is of interest to you and you want to know how that works, again, this is only available to our Canadian clients. And the reason that we do what we're doing is primarily because, number one, we are Canadians and we help each other. But number two is the fact is that, there's very few investments at this particular point that are doing well. You keep your money in the bank, you're getting less than 1%. You're losing money by doing so. If it forces you into the stock market, 90% of the people that trade stocks lose their money. So what we want is for our Canadian clients to do well during these times, especially with what's happening up in Alberta at this time. And again, many of my clients are enjoying very nice returns in U.S. dollars, and now is an excellent time to do that because we think that the Canadian dollar has topped out. And again, we do anticipate that the Canadian dollar is going to fall back with the price of oil and with the price of gold. So again, at this point, we have some private investments for our Canadian clients that are doing extremely well. Many of our clients are making over 25% a year, and they're making it in U.S. dollars. If that's of interest to you, just give me a call. I'll explain it to you, and if it's something that you want to participate in, we would love to have you. But again, Randy, this week was a crazy week, but most of it was very emotional with the fires going on up in Fort McMurray, and again, not hearing from a lot of our friends up there. It's extremely concerning. And those of our friends in Fort McMurray that are listening to the show, please contact me and let me know that everything is okay, because, again, we got very nervous here. But, Randy, it's just been a crazy week with the fires going on, and the market's as volatile as they are. But, again, really nothing has changed at this particular point. We're still sticking with our same prediction.
And that is a very good advice, Harold. Check in. I know I was listening to the radio on the way into work this morning, and they were saying that if you evacuated Fort McMurray, check in with the Red Cross. Let them know that you're okay. And obviously, if you're a client of Harold Siegel, he wants to know that you're okay. Harold really, really cares about you, and you can speak with him and let him know how things are going in your life. And connect with Harold. RareColoredDiamonds.com, RareColoredDiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022, RareColoredDiamonds.com. Our featured diamond of the week, and this is an absolute beauty. It is a beautiful, beautiful diamond. We'll talk about a rare violet diamond found in the second half of the show. Also a big blue diamond coming up for auction. The diamond is a .70 carat pear-cut fancy vivid blue VS1. And to see a pear-cut in blue, what a stunning diamond. See it at RareColoredDiamonds.com, RareColoredDiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week. This is a museum piece. A diamond, a .70 carat pear-cut fancy vivid blue VS1. Speak with Harold about investing in a diamond like that at RareColoredDiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. Usually off the top of the show, we give a little bit of an economic update for what happened today and during the week, but we had our commentary on Fort McMurray. Breaking this morning, the jobs in Canada and the United States. Jobs in Canada, we lost 2,100 jobs in April. They expected a gain of 1,000, and the unemployment rate stayed at 7.1%. In the United States, they gained 160,000. They had been expecting 200,000, and the unemployment rate stayed at 5%. It's hard to believe, but 94 million people in the United States not in the labor force. And in our free weekly newsletter, which you can get from Harold, we send it out via email free of charge every week. We had a story last week about families in the United States. And there was, if I remember correctly, 1 in 4 or 5 families, there was no one working. In 1 out of every 4 or 5 families, no one was working. And this is why I think people are gravitating towards a Donald Trump. And one of the other statistics we have in our free weekly newsletter this week, and get it from Harold, RareColoredDiamonds.com, or 1-800-432-1022, John Crudell, he writes for the New York Post. He said the median annual household income in the United States reached $57,263 this past March, which is 4.5% higher than in March of 2015. But, and here's where the anger comes in, that's still slightly below the $57,342 back in January of 2000. January 2000, Americans have not gotten a raise in more than 16 years. And Harold, I think that's where people become very, very frustrated. We talked about it on the last show. We have an update in our free weekly newsletter about 273,000 union workers and retirees bracing for pension cuts. The struggling Central States Pension Fund is in such bad shape that it's seeking government approval to cut benefits, and the ruling is expected to come this week. To give you an idea how people are going to be affected, a man by the name of Bill Hendershot, 74, is bracing for a 60% cut to his $3,500 a month pension check. He'd already applied for part-time work and scaled back his cell phone and cable plans. Bill and his wife rely mostly on his pension and Social Security checks in the United States. They stand to lose $2,100 a month, or about a third of their income if the plan is approved. And the truth of the matter is they're just paying out way too much money for the amount of money that they have in this pension fund. So here you have it. Someone not getting ahead in 16 years financially. You have pension funds cutting back. No wonder why you see outside candidates like a Donald Trump or Ted Cruz in the United States being very, very popular. And Harold, that's the challenging times that we live in right now, because not only do we have these scenarios, but we also have negative interest rates, low interest rates. And if you do have a little money and you're trying to get ahead, it's so difficult. And that's why we've said to people on past shows, speak to you about the different programs that you have, because you believe that you can help out people investing in alternative assets and give them a little bit more money in their pocket at the end of every month.
You better believe it. In fact, I don't think it. I know it because we've been doing it for a long time. So, again, these investments are only for our Canadian clients. One of the reasons that the payouts are so high is because our clients have to convert their currency from Canadian to American, but those that have done that are ecstatic over what has happened to them. And again, especially in light of what's happening up in Alberta at this particular point, again, I know that I can help my Canadian clients up there get back to financial health and even get them an income. So if that's of interest to you, if that will help you, give us a call. And again, we'll certainly explain to you what we're doing here privately. But all in all, it's extremely difficult at this particular time to make any money in investments. Again, by getting 1% or less in the bank, when you figure out that you're paying taxes, inflation, and all that, you're actually losing money on it. The banks have an agenda. The banks want, and they will eventually, make transaction fees on every single thing that we do. The more and more work I'm doing on this cashless society, the more I'm finding out that, again, the government is just going to wreak havoc on our lives. They're going to know every single thing that we do, how we spend our money, where it goes. They're going to be able to tax you on every single thing that you do, and the banks are going to make a fortune off of transaction fees, because every time you use your credit or debit card or your Google Pay or your Apple Pay or whatever it's going to be, they're going to make a transaction fee. The whole world as we know it is going to change within the next 10 years. And if you're not up on it and you don't know what's happening or what's coming our way, then you're going to be a victim of what the government's going to do to us. But the fact is that we're still in charge of our own lives and our own money, and we still make our own decisions at this particular point, and there are ways that we can get ahead. And again, I need to speak to our clients up in Canada to get us in the right direction, because again, it is extremely difficult to make money. Right now, you cannot make money just keeping your money in the bank. Again, there was a time back many years ago when interest rates were high that people were making 10 or 15% on their money. Those days are far gone. So keeping your money in the bank should only be used to pay bills. Aside from that, where do you put your money? Do you put them in bonds? No, bonds are not doing well at all. In fact, bonds are paying out almost nothing, and with negative interest rates, you're actually losing money on certain bonds. So that's not an opportunity. And then you have the stock market. The stock market is so risky that 90% of the people that trade it lose part or all of their money. So that's obviously not an option at this particular point. Unless you're an expert trader that could trade commodities and can trade stocks, you're going to end up losing your money, and that's not obviously the situation you want to be in. You want to, number one, be in investments that will preserve your capital, that you're not going to lose your money on. And then number two, you want to give yourself an opportunity to make some money, capital appreciation. And we do have investments that accomplish both of that. They're fairly conservative, but the returns are high, and they're in American dollars, which is extremely important. So again, at this particular point, you're looking that even real estate is not a great investment unless you're well versed in it. And the thing about real estate is that most of the homes that are being built, especially in the United States at this point here, are all for rental properties. People are renting. They're not buying. They can't afford to buy anymore. Here in the United States, after 2008 and 2009, you need 25% or more in order to get a mortgage. And you better have a phenomenal credit rating. And then on top of that, again, you've got to be able to make your mortgage payments. So things are very difficult. The three areas that people were comfortable making money for so long, especially during the 90s, was in the stock market, in the real estate market, and in the bond market. And now all three of those investments are extremely difficult. In fact, most people are not making any money in those investments at all, and really for the first time are viewing the stock market as a gambling casino. So the fact is that that's why we're into alternative investments, alternative to the investments that we just mentioned, which are stocks, bonds, and real estate. And there's other investments out there that are doing extremely well. You just need to know about them. So give us a call. I'll sit down with you and talk to you for as long as you need, and it doesn't matter what your financial position is. I'll try to give you the right advice. Now, in order to invest in the deals that I'm working on, the minimum investment is $25,000. So that will preclude some people. But again, if you're looking at retirement savings plans at this point that you've had for the last decade that has not made any money for you, you may want to talk to me about that, because again, I have other options that are doing extremely well. In some cases, my clients are making over 25% a year. So again, while I'm very enthused about our business, I'm also very concerned about what's happening in all the markets, because let's face it, most people don't know about alternative assets. They know about stocks, real estate, and bonds, and all three of those assets are not doing well at this point. If you're in those type of investments and you're concerned about your future, just give me a call and we'll talk, and I'll see if I can help you. It's just as simple as that.
RareColoredDiamonds.com. Connect with Harold right there, or even better, speak with him personally and privately. We can tell you the call is free and anything discussed is 100% confidential. 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022. And as Harold said earlier in the show, if you're one of his friends and clients from Fort McMurray are displaced now, definitely give him a call, 1-800-432-1022. Let him know how you're doing. Harold really is concerned for all the well-being of our radio listeners. Our featured diamond of the week, and you can see it at RareColoredDiamonds.com, is a .70 carat pear-cut fancy vivid blue VS1. This is one of the most beautiful diamonds I have ever seen. And we'll talk about an impossibly rare violet diamond that has been found. Also, a blue diamond is coming up for auction. We'll talk about that and more in the second half of the program. As the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping our show on May 6th, 2016. Our time is 9:09 Mountain. Connect with Harold Siegel at RareColoredDiamonds.com, RareColoredDiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. Don't forget, if you ever miss a radio show, they're archived on Harold's two websites, HES Radio.com, RareColoredDiamonds.com. We have a podcast through iTunes. Type in the World Financial Report on Radio. We're on TuneIn, and we have our very own YouTube page. It has been a very difficult week, as we mentioned off the top of the show. Our radio show runs on 630 CHED in Edmonton. And for those that listen to us around the world, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, Fort McMurray is in northern Alberta, and it's a major oil and economic hub for Alberta and Canada as one of the largest reserves of oil in the world. And 80,000 plus people have been evacuated due to a fire, and homes have been burned down, businesses. The devastation at this point is just unspeakable. And they're still fighting the fire. Things are fluid. The story has made its way around the world. And as I said, stay tuned to 630 CHED for updates They'll keep you up to date on what's happening as the story is changing by the minute. Bank of Montreal coming out and saying losses could reach $9.4 billion. And we have lots of radio listeners to our program in Fort McMurray and clients, and our thoughts and prayers are with you. If you'd like to help out, donate to the Red Cross or the Food Bank, Canadian Red Cross, local food banks, Ottawa and Alberta, the Alberta governments and federal government going to be matching donations to the Red Cross, and together we will get through this. Obviously, as a province, we've been through a lot together, and we will get through this and rebuild. And as Harold was saying, lots of radio listeners and clients to our radio show, and if you have not checked in with Harold, please do. He's definitely worried about you. 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022. Harold, I know that obviously it's a very difficult, traumatic time for some of our radio listeners and clients, and we are there for them.
You better believe it. Again, when these type of things happen, Randy, everybody's got to pull together. And again, as Canadians, that's what we do. This is not just an Alberta problem. It's a Canadian situation, and we're all there to try to help in the best way that we can. Again, when these things happen, and I know when they happen because, again, I've been in Florida for quite a while, and we got hit with a hurricane, and it did over $200,000 damage to my home, and I actually had to move away for 10 days. And, you know, it wasn't a matter that we had a place to go. We just got fortunate that we found a place that I could move my entire family to. So I know exactly what they're going through. My heart bleeds for everybody there. And again, we're hinged on everything happening in Alberta. We watch it every second. We're watching the news, trying to stay on top of things. And again, all we want to do is know that our friends and clients and everybody up there is safe, and that's what we hope for. So again, Randy, just keep us up to date with everything. And again, our heart goes out to everybody up in Fort McMurray. I know what it's like to be displaced from your home.
Well, and here in the province of Alberta, we had Slave Lake. There was fires there they were devastating. Back in 2011, we had the floods in Calgary. Throughout the province, we've been dealing with drought off and on, which has been very difficult for farmers. We've had forest fires in many different parts of the province. So we've definitely, even though we've had incredible economic prosperity due to the oil sands, and it's an amazing resource and hub for all of Canada, not just Alberta, we've definitely had our share of natural disasters, but we've come through it together. And connect with Harold. Let him know you're okay. 1-800-432-1022. Featured diamond of the week is a .70 carat pear cut Fancy Vivid Blue VS1. You can see it online. Featured diamond of the week at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Now, one of the stories that came out this week, and these are very rare, although Harold has seen them before, an impossibly rare violet diamond found. A rare violet diamond, the largest of its kind ever found at Argyle's remote Argyle mine, will be the centerpiece of Rio Tinto's annual Pink Diamond Showcase, the company said on Tuesday. The rough gem, discovered in August of 2015 at a mine where more than 90 to 95% of the world's pinks and reds are produced, originally weighed 9.17 carats and had etchings, pits, and crevices. After weeks of assessment, the Argyle Violet was polished down to 2.83 carats, an oval-shaped diamond. Now, they say this is impossibly rare and limited by nature. It's nature's art. The Argyle Violet will be highly sought after for its beauty, size, and provenance, that according to Rio Tinto, the general sales manager, Patrick Coppins. Now, Rio Tinto did not put a figure on its worth, but said it had been assessed by the GIA, and the assessment was with the color of fancy, deep, grayish, bluish violet. It is not known how diamonds acquire their colored tinge, but it's thought to come from a molecular structure distortion as the gem forms in the Earth's crust or makes its way to the surface. Diamonds for sale as part of the Argyle Diamond Tender can fetch 1 to 2 million per carat. So as a basic rule of thumb, pink and red diamonds are worth about 50 times more than white diamonds. Rio Tinto said violet diamonds were extremely rare, with only 12 carats of polished stones produced for every tender in the last 32 years. This stunning violet diamond will capture the imagination of the world's leading collectors and connoisseurs. That according to the Argyle Pink Diamond manager, Josephine Johnson. Now, the 26th tender will be a private trading viewing, and we've talked about this in the past, in June, and travel to Copenhagen, Hong Kong, New York, and pretty much around the world for different dealers to take a look at and potentially bid on. And Harold, I know that violets are the rarest of the rare, but you have seen a violet diamond yourself.
Oh yes, I have a few in my collection, and we've sold a couple to our clients. So they are extremely rare. But what's really amazing about this, and just think about this for a second, that diamond has come from a 9-carat rough, and it's being cut down to a 2-carat diamond. There's so much wastage in that particular stone because of they have to cut out most of it. You know, and a lot of people ask when it comes to cutting a diamond, what happens with the other pieces of it? Most of it turns to dust, or some of it is actually ground into millets, which are tiny little diamonds that can be used in jewelry. But most of it is not, you don't get 3 or 4 diamonds out of a 9-carat rough. You get 1 diamond out of the rough. And again, to cut a diamond like that was extremely difficult because there were so many feathers and crevices and other inclusions in the diamond that, again, they had to cut away most of it in order to end up with a 2-carat. Now, again, a 2-carat diamond of that color is extremely valuable. It'll be worth millions and millions of dollars. But again, it's just such an interesting thing to know that out of 9 carats, that diamond is going to be cut down to a 2-carat diamond. They're really spectacular. I've got, like I say, a very, very rare pure violet diamond in my collection, and it's something that I would treasure forever. Now, when you're looking at the featured diamond, I think that when you see what this diamond looks like, you'll understand why vivid blue diamonds have gone from $200,000 a carat up to $4 million a carat. All it takes is one look at the color of a vivid blue diamond to understand why these diamonds are so rare. That diamond turned blue because boron seeped into the ground. That diamond actually came from a mine where the majority of diamonds that come out of that mine are white. So you're talking about a diamond that, let's say it was a carat. And again, you can see how beautiful this diamond is. The color is just absolutely spectacular. So let's say that this diamond was a full carat, and then there was another 1-carat white diamond that came out of the same mine. The 1-carat white diamond could be worth $20,000, $30,000. If it was an amazing diamond, maybe it was worth $100,000 if it turned out to be a deep flawless or something like that. But compare it to this diamond, this blue. The only difference between the 20 or 40 or 50,000 carat white, dollar white, versus this is that they're exactly the same, except that boron turned the diamond blue. It was nothing else but a mineral, seeping into the ground and turning this one diamond blue. Do you realize that the difference between a white diamond and a vivid blue diamond could be that the white diamond, let's give it, say it was an exceptional white, and it ended up selling for $100,000. But this particular diamond, if it was a 1-carat vivid blue, could sell for $1 million, $2 million, $3 million for that carat. And the only difference in the diamond is the color of it, that boron seeped into the ground and turned the diamond blue. That's what's so amazing about colored diamonds. That's why they're so expensive, that they're natural. They turn this way naturally. A lot of people will ask me, well, there's laboratories now that make perfect diamonds, that are real diamonds. They may be perfect and they may be real, but they're not valuable, and they never, ever will be, because the GIA, the Gemological Institute of America, will never grade them. GIA will only grade a natural diamond that came out of the ground, not a diamond that's made in a laboratory. So for those that wonder about that, those diamonds in the laboratory only make our natural diamonds even more valuable because, again, these are nature's art. These came from nature. They were not man-made. And the only difference between a white diamond and a blue diamond, they're both compressed carbon. They both are heat treated, meaning that, tremendous heat has, caused these diamonds to come from miles underground and through a volcanic eruption have come up to the Earth's surface. Now, what is different about a white diamond and a blue, or a white diamond and a green, or a white diamond and a yellow is just that a mineral has come into the ground and changed that diamond to a different color. Now, there's different colors of blue. There's light blue, there's fancy blue, there's fancy intense blue, there's fancy deep blue, and then there's fancy vivid blue. And these diamonds become more and more valuable depending on how saturated the color is. Well, on a vivid diamond, it's got the highest saturation, but there's 10 different colors of vivid, 10 different levels of it. So a vivid blue diamond, one of them could be worth $1 million a carat. One could be worth $4 or $5 million a carat. It's the heavy saturation of that color that makes that diamond more valuable. Then you take into consideration whether the diamond actually has a clarity grading. In this case, it's a VS1, which is a very high clarity grading. So again, that will make this diamond expensive. Then you look at the cut of the diamond. In this case, it's a pear shape. A pear shape is a very rare and valuable cut. One of my favorites, and the thing I like about these type of cuts is that they're wider on top and narrow on the bottom, but they look larger. This diamond, even though it's a .70, looks like it's over a carat because of the way it's cut. And then the facets in this diamond are absolutely amazing. So when you look at the 4 C's, this diamond really has it all. Carat weight, it's a .70. The cut of the diamond, it's a pear shape. The color is the best you can possibly get, and on a scale from 1 to 10, this diamond is a 10 out of 10, and then you've got the clarity, which is a VS1. So a diamond like this is a true collector's item. It will never, ever decline in value, will only go up in value, and the longer you hold a diamond like this, the more and more it will go up. Again, back in 2003 to 2005, if you look at the auction prices, vivid blue diamonds of extremely good quality were selling for $200,000 to $300,000 a carat. At the last auction that we had, the vivid blue diamonds that sold in the $4 million a carat range. There was a 12-carat vivid blue that was renamed the Josephine diamond. That sold for $48 million. 12 carats times $4 million a carat, $48 million. There's the Oppenheimer blue coming up for sale very soon, and I have from very good authority that diamond will sell for probably over $5, maybe $6 million a carat. So the fact is that these diamonds continue to go higher and higher and higher, along with classic cars, along with fine pieces of art, along with certain stamps and gold coins. This is where the big money is being made. It's not being made in the stock market. It's not being made in real estate. It's not being made in bonds. It's not being made in commodities. Those are all speculative investments. And again, every investment has its time. At this particular time, more people want to hold on to their assets. They don't want to be in paper because paper is manipulated. These assets are true assets. And when I go into an investment, I look at 2 major things: capital preservation, how safe is the investment, and capital appreciation, how much money can I make on the investment. And diamonds like this give you both those avenues. They will not drop in value. They will only go up in value over time. They're not short-term investments, though. You don't buy them to look to sell them in just a few years. These are the type of assets, the longer you hold on to them, the more valuable they become.
Connect with Harold, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. See our featured diamond at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week, .70 carat paracut fancy vivid blue VS1. If you've never seen a paracut blue, go take a look. Well, we touched on the impossibly rare violet diamond that's going to be coming up in the Argyle Pink Tender. There was also news this week: the world's second biggest diamond expected to fetch $70 million at auction. And this is coming up for auction. They call it Lucida Lorona, and it's an 1109-carat diamond, white diamond the size of a tennis ball. The gigantic diamond will be auctioned off by Sotheby's in London next month. The diamond was found in Botswana, in southern Africa, in November. It took months to determine even an estimated price because it was so large that it does not fit into conventional scanners used to evaluate a stone's potential worth. Sotheby's said the diamond is the largest rough gem-quality diamond in existence today. It's believed to be between 2.5 billion and 3 billion years old. Now, you talk about nature's art and art being old. That goes a little bit beyond Picasso's. Not only is the rough superlative in size and quality, but no rough diamond, even remotely of this scale, has been offered before at public auction, according to David Bennett, and he's the chairman of Sotheby's Jewelry Division. And what an amazing story this diamond has become. It's coming up on sale next month in London, and it's a monster. Somebody will get it, no doubt, Harold. Maybe a syndicate will buy it, polish it up, and turn it into a diamond and maybe resell it at a later date at auction. But no doubt, this is a story we will watch in the weeks and months ahead, because this is $70 million at auction. What a stunning number, Harold.
You better believe it. That is absolutely amazing. When those type of things happen, it's universal. Everybody, is aware of it, and it's just so phenomenal to see a diamond like that, going to become available to the general public. It's just an amazing thing. You got to say that recently, some outrageous diamonds have either been mined. We've seen some huge diamonds come out of the mines or come up for auction. And again, in a lot of cases, the diamonds that are coming up for auctions have been in families for decades and decades. They were bought. What did we say? That there was a diamond that originally was purchased for $1,700. We talked about that last week, sold in the multi millions of dollars. So again, we're talking about some of the best assets you could ever own. And a lot of my clients that invest in diamonds, they may not even cash them in. In a lot of cases, they're for their kids and their grandkids.
That was the Shirley Temple. Harold, that was the Shirley Temple diamond. Yes,
exactly.
Diamond.
It was purchased originally for $1,700.
And then sold for $22 million.
Exactly. So that's the type of returns that are available on these type of assets. Now, it doesn't happen overnight. You don't buy it and 3 or 4 years later the diamond's worth that much. It's over time. It's like any other investment. It needs time to get rare and to, be in the public eye type of thing. So when these diamonds do become available for auction, that's why some of these prices are just astronomical. And if you knew what they were purchased for many, many years ago, you would view this as one of the best investments that you could possibly see. Now, again, you don't put all of your money into one investment. You diversify. This is just another diversification. But a rare colored diamond gives you two of the most important factors: capital security, means that you're not going to lose your money on it, and capital appreciation. And those are the two major things you have to look at when you go into any investment.
Speak with Harold about our featured diamond, a 0.70 carat pear cut, fancy vivid blue VS1. See it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week. Connect with Harold, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. And we did have that story on the Shirley Temple diamond. It was purchased for her in 1940, around $2,000. And here we are about 2 weeks ago. It sold for $22 million. And then we had that story out of Florida. There was a couple that purchased a pink diamond in 2007 for around $2 million. And they were getting their diamonds appraised for insurance purposes, and found out it was worth $8 million. And they did take it to auction. They got more than $8 million, a little bit more than 8, but up 400% in less than 10 years. Obviously, that is not going to happen to everybody, but when we hear these stories, it's very exciting because you can see the potential in colored diamonds, and obviously there's more to come. We have coming up here on May 17th and May 18th, auctions in Geneva. In fact, Geneva, Switzerland, they have an auction May 17th. This is Sotheby's. They're going to be auctioning off a unique pink diamond, expected to fetch up to $38 million. And then on the 18th, we will have another auction, and it will be for a blue diamond. And this is the Oppenheimer blue, and they're saying it could go for $45 million. Just a stunning number. And we talked about it on the past show as well. There's an Aurora Green, and it's in Hong Kong at the end of the month. May 31st, Christie's magnificent jewel sale in Hong Kong. May 31, an Aurora Green, a rare 5.03 carat stone, is coming up. So we have a little bit of a color of the rainbow here. We've got a green, a blue, and a pink coming up here in the next 3 weeks. And then we have that white coming up as well in the next month or so. So we will definitely keep track of the auction results for you. But Harold, I know that you're excited about that green because that's something that you're really specializing in.
You better believe it. Green diamonds are the next blues, and you're going to see it at auction. That diamond is going to sell for $3 to $4 million a carat. We own a 7.5 carat vivid green rough. Once that diamond is cut, that diamond will sell for $3-4 million a carat. So when I talk about private investments, this is what we do. We're in the rough diamond business. My partners have been miners and cutters of diamonds for 4 generations. So this is why our Canadian clients are making 25% a year or more with us, because they've been investing with us in rough diamonds. So again, if that's of interest to our clients out there, our listeners to our show, again, give me a call. I'll explain it to you. And if it's comfortable for you, you too could be involved in the rough diamond market. So all in all, Andy, again, looking at everything that's happening around the world, the uncertainty in all the financial markets, in the stock markets and commodities and bonds and everything like that, it's just so good to know that there are investments out there that are stable. Again, longer term, perfect for a retirement type of thing. You know, if you're in your 30s or 20s or 30s or 40s and put money in your retirement savings plan, I think you realize at this point, everybody who's in RRSPs realizes that very few make money on their retirement savings plans. It defeats the entire purpose of doing them. So again, if you're in that situation, give me a call. Let me explain what your options are to you. And again, maybe we can turn that debt investment into something that will get you not only back to financial health, but make you very successful financially. So give me a call if you're in that situation, and I'll explain exactly what we're doing in our rough diamond business.
Get our free weekly newsletter from Harold. 2 stories we did not get to this week. Michael Burry, real-life market genius from the movie The Big Short, thinks another financial crisis is looming. As well, Jim Bianco. He's a markets analyst concerned about negative interest rates and really the financials of major financials like banks and insurance companies. He thinks they're way too complicated and you cannot understand them, and they're a ticking time bomb. Get those stories in our free weekly newsletter from Harold. Connect with him at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. Our featured diamond, a .70 carat, and this is a beauty, pear-cut fancy vivid blue VS1. See it? Featured diamond of the week, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. And Harold, with about 30 seconds left, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there today. And for those people that are your friends, clients from Fort McMurray, check in with Harold. Let him know you're okay. I know, Harold, you're very concerned.
You better believe we are. Again, I want to wish all the moms out there a very happy Mother's Day. It's a great family day. And again, our hearts go out to everybody that's been affected in Fort McMurray. Understand that we're praying for you. And again, we hope all goes well. I wish everybody a wonderful weekend and a very profitable day.
Thank you very much, Harold. If you would like to help out all the folks in Fort McMurray, donate to the Canadian Red Cross. Those funds will be matched by Ottawa and Alberta governments. As well, you can donate cash or non-perishable food items to the food bank of your choice here in Alberta. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next week.